My name is Jess. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Liverpool. Now this film's about me and my face.
Can you open just a little bit for me, Jess? That's a good go.
It will make Extreme Makeover look like a walk in the park. The bad news for you is you're going to have to watch me and my ugly mug for an hour. But I dare you. As a kid, I was born with this face because of a rare condition. And last year, I had a major operation which completely transformed the way I look.
This is my face.
This is me now, and I'm not finished yet. I've done it to look normal. But to please who? Myself, or everyone else? In this film, for the first time, I'll ask why I've put myself through all this pain. I'm one of 3 sisters. The other 2 are normal Liverpool girls. I'm the only one with a bit of me bum on my face. But actually the funny thing was, it wasn't my face that hurt because I had part of my hip taken out to put in my face. And so...
Joking.
No? Not trying to scare you, like. Yes, you did hear me right. A piece of my hip was used to rebuild my face. After over 20 operations, I can just about manage a night out on the town without feeling like the world's staring. Before my operations, my life was quite different. I have a rare genetic condition called Apert Syndrome. Only 1 in 70,000 children is born with it, so I must be pretty special. Obviously my face has changed because I just had this operation. I've got a better dress sense now. When I was born, the plates in my skull formed in a different way, and that's why my features were unusual. I was actually 4 here, and obviously I hadn't had much surgery, so you can really tell that I have actually got Apert Syndrome because of my face. I mean, when I'm lying down there, my face is really flat. And that's like a symptom of Apert Syndrome. You've just got no shape in your face, really. I can't relate to that face anymore, I really can't. It's weird how you forget what you used to look like, really. As far as I was concerned, there was nothing wrong with me because I'd been brought up that way and I'd never been treated any differently.
We've never ever gone out of our way, any of us, to sort of treat Jessica any differently because of it. We had to carry on normally, we had to get on and do normal things and carry on going to playgroup, and we sort of had to try and be as normal as we possibly could.
But I found out recently that looking different has affected my family too.
I can still picture like that, running around with these huge big glasses that she used to have on. I did find strangers. They did look, and that used to hurt me. Because my little daughter, she was no different to anyone else. She looked different. What I tended to do a lot of the time, I'd step in between Jessica and whoever the person was who was looking, and just stare at them.
And it wasn't just my face that was different. When I was born, my fingers had fused together. My hands looked like little mittens. Since then, I've had over 20 operations to separate out 3 fingers and a thumb. It's a miracle, really, if you think about it. But to some people, it's still not enough.
Modelling the latest in St Hilda's.
When I started senior school, I did realise I was different. I hadn't noticed that before, really, that much, or I hadn't dwelled on it if I had noticed it, but when I started senior school, it was a real big, a kind of wake-up call, really. I'm not alone. In the UK, over 1 million people have some kind of disfigurement to their face or body. Here are some of us at a Christmas party I go to every year. All sorts of amazing places here, and this is the one place where nobody gets stared at. Because in the outside world, people have all sorts of ideas when you look a bit weird. And whilst I'm well on the way to coming to terms with how I look, there are others who have only just begun. Thomas Pierce has a condition similar to mine, Apert Syndrome.
Round and round the garden like a teddy bear. One step, two steps, silly under there.
Thomas was going to have an operation in February, his first one, and I'm sure you're aware that he'll probably have more to come. How do you feel about that? It must be quite scary.
Yeah, I think it is a bit scary, but because he's going to look completely different after the first operation. But I mean, I think we look that it's a step in the right direction, isn't it?
Yeah. Every operation is going to be a step towards him looking normal as normal.
Whatever normal means.
That's one thing, isn't it? Because people look a lot at him, don't they, in the street? And
it seems to be more curious than anything, especially the young kids, because they don't understand.
Yeah, I think what half the battle is for people is that if you look different, people then expect something else to be wrong as well. They don't actually look at you as a perfectly intelligent person, a perfectly normal human being.
Brian Room and his son Dan both have Treacher-Collins syndrome. Like me, their skulls have not developed properly.
My bone reality is really deformed chin. So Gavin has had quite a bit of surgery done. He's had both ears made. Next year, hopefully, he's going to have a go forward. You don't say much, are you?
What have you had done? When I was born, I didn't have any fingers, and as part of Apert Syndrome, the bones in my head were fused together. So they needed to do an operation to separate them. And in the summer, I had an operation on my face to change the way I look. I've had experiences where I've been treated differently. I was just wondering if you'd had any.
Oh yeah, you can't call it that. I mean, you must have been through it.
Oh yeah. Definitely, yeah.
But I just don't, they're just so ignorant, some of them.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you cope?
I just get on with it, really. If there's ever a bad experience that I've had, okay, it's bad at the time, but at the end of the day, I've just got to get over it.
And that's how we do it, don't we, then? Yeah? You like to play guitar and things like that, and whatever, don't you? Yeah, like some music. You just get on with life.
Yeah.
Just get on with it. I mean, like, up till being 30 odd, I never thought I'd get married and have kids.
Yeah. I think speaking to you and seeing that you've got a family, it's kind of an inspiration to me, or an inspiration to me. 2 years before I had my surgery, I kept a diary as a way of helping me make the decision as to whether I should have the operation, and it was the thought of one day finding love that in the end convinced me to go for it. 28th of July 2005. The reasons why I want this operation is because I think that if I have the operation, there'd be a bigger chance of me getting a boyfriend, because I really want one, and I think it's because of my looks that I don't have one. Also, because I want to look more normal, like my friends and family. I can understand where I was coming from at that age, because as I say, I was only 14, and that's all you care about. At that age, your priorities are, 1, like you look, fantastic and you fit in and all that, and 2 is that you have a boyfriend, or you get a boyfriend because of the way you look. And I'd just get upset and feel so down. I'd think, you know what, I wish I was more normal, because then I could get a boyfriend. It's interesting because, when I read through this diary, I realised that I changed my mind from yes I do want it to no I don't to oh I don't know. On the same day that I wrote the previous diary entry, I said, some of the reasons why I don't want the operation is that I don't feel I need it because it's not my problem, i.e. I don't find it a problem, so why should I have to change my looks just because somebody else has got the problem? that brought back a lot of emotions. And the thing that sticks out for me is, why should I have to look normal? You know, what is normal? I've always said that, and the fact that I've written it down 2 years ago, it's like, well, you know, it's kind of making me question, well, did I actually have it for me, or did I have it, you know, for other people, or to fit in?
I do still want a boyfriend, but I've got to understand that getting one is easier said than done.
Could I have the Pacific Breeze, please?
So now that I'm halfway to getting a new face, it's time my mates give me some tips on how to get ahead with the opposite sex.
Don't get involved with players and don't seem desperate. Not that you are desperate, but don't seem it either.
I'm usually more inclined to like them come to me.
But what if they don't make the move? What if they are waiting for you to make the move and you're waiting for them to make the move? What do you do then?
Don't seem too keen. Like sometimes make out if you're interested, but then other times sort of be like, yeah, you wish, sort of thing.
So play hard to get in a sense,
yeah.
My eldest sister Hannah and her friends have had their fair share of boyfriends. I'm pretty sure they'll have some good tactics.
I like the start at the moment. What advice would you give me? Because I don't know how to take it further. Because I want to take it further, but I don't know if you want to take it further, and I don't want to be embarrassed if he doesn't want to take it further.
Text him when you're drunk in front of you.
No, don't
just
don't listen to these two.
just pretend you're drunk.
Don't corrupt poor little Jess.
You can't really give tips, not one of us. I've got a boyfriend.
Well, how sad is this? I haven't been kissed yet.
She wants to kiss the right person.
Well, I want to kiss anyone, I don't care. I just want to kiss.
But so far in my life, I've been too busy going in and out of hospital to fit in my first ever kiss. It all started when I was 4 months old. When other kids weren't even crawling, I had my first operation. It was to stop the plates in my skull putting pressure on my brain. Since then, I've had over 20 operations on my face and hands, and all of these were for medical reasons. But my latest operation last year was different. I wanted surgery on my face, not because I needed it, but because I wanted it, to improve the way I look. This is me the day before I go under the knife.
She'll have a new face tomorrow. Well, she's having a last supper tonight. Or last breakfast anyway.
Bye, old face!
On her way in.
I go to Alderhay Hospital only a few days after finishing my GCSEs. I'm pretty nervous.
The run up to the surgery was a very anxious time, really. Very anxious for us because, you know, at the same time we're letting her go down for this surgery that was going to take all day, and I was terrified she was going to die. Just really scared that she wouldn't come out of it.
I was quite scared for her. I remember saying, you know, it's up to you, but she'd had so many operations before, but me, I was scared that something would have gone wrong, as I'm sure she was.
I'm quite scared right now, but also I'm quite excited, so I think it's mainly apprehension, but I just can't wait for tonight to come. I just can't wait for the operation to be over.
The day itself was an absolute nightmare. It just seemed to go on forever and ever and ever. Originally, her eyes were quite widely spaced. So what they'd done is they'd taken a wedge of bone from the middle of her face here, removed that completely, and they'd rotated her orbits and moved it all in. So in doing that, they'd moved her eyes closer together. They'd also then somehow, I think, disconnected her cheekbones here and moved the whole of her top jaw and her cheekbones forward.
After 12.5 hours of surgery, my ordeal's finally over.
We went down to intensive care, and Jessica's face was just like a balloon. I looked at her like that, and my wife Wendy, she was with me, and she said, "Oh my God," and she started crying, and I thought, oh no, what's she seen that I haven't seen?
Oh my God, I just cried. I couldn't go near her because I was crying that hard, and they thought, the nursing staff thought I was that upset because I was horrified at how she looked. I was actually crying that hard because I couldn't believe how different she looked and how beautiful she looked, despite looking as if she'd been run over by a bus. The difference was absolutely amazing.
Okay, we can see a difference. You can see your eyes look different, your nose looks different, your cheeks look different. I know you're all swelled up, but you do look different, babe. And when it all goes down and all these things are away from you, you'll look like you wanted to look. Okay, babe? That's all I'm going to do now.
For the first 48 hours, they couldn't control the pain. She was in agony. She just kept saying, my eyes, Mum, my eyes are hurting.
During the operation, bits of my face and body were moved around, which is why I've now got a bit of my hip on my face to build a beautiful new nose.
How's about that for a nose? You actually haven't seen it, have you?
No. I went into the toilet because that's the only place where the mirror was. And I was really scared because I was thinking, oh God, what if I don't like it? And I saw myself. I started crying and that made my mum and dad start crying, so we were just all in the toilet, all hugging each other and crying in this little huddle really. And looking back, it was one of the happiest days of my life, I think. Through the swelling, I can see the brand new me. But after a week in hospital, I'm pretty glad to go home.
Step. Whoa, watch your arm. Oh, watch your hip. What'd you like?
Is she going to get up all the stairs?
Careful sitting down, just take.
And then something really horrible happens.
She developed like this red area here, and I was quite concerned about that because it was quite mushy to touch and things, and it was MRSA.
I'd only been home for a few weeks when I'm rushed back to Alderhill Hospital. So they said this red stuff wasn't abscess. They sucked all the pus or whatever out of it and they put this strain in just to make sure that, just to check that no more came out or whatever.
Turn your head, let's see.
Yuck! All this for a new face. I spend another 2 whole weeks in hospital, bored out of my head, before I come home for good. I can't wait to try out my new face. The one I'd got specially made, the one I'd gone through all that pain for, and all to stop people staring at me. I take things one step at a time, first with people at school. No one recognised me, so I was just standing there and couldn't celebrate with anyone except my mum and dad. I really don't know how people will react.
I was speechless at first. I didn't quite know what to say to her, and then after that I just tried to act normal because if I looked shocked I didn't want her to, get worried.
When I saw her I was really shocked. I couldn't believe it was her because she looked so different. It was almost as if I didn't recognise her at first.
My face is changing on a daily basis as it settles down. I really love the way I look now, and I'm pleased at the reactions I'm getting from people. I feel as if I finally belong with my friends and family. My operation's a success, but the build up to it put extra pressure on me during my GCSEs. I hope that the stress won't affect my grades.
Jess never hands anything in late, and if she does, she'll come and see us before and just say, can I have an extension or whatever, and it hasn't affected her work in any way at all, which I think is pretty remarkable.
I've got 5 A's and 2 of them were 8 stars, and then I've got 5 B's as well. To launch my new face, I'm having a new face party. Brought loads of makeup for tonight and all my clothes are new. I just wanted tonight to be special really. I've asked everyone to come in a mask or over the top makeup. Where I already have my new face, they need to create one for themselves. 2 of my best friends, Bex and Becky, come early. Bex has Apert Syndrome, which is similar to mine, and Becky has a disfigured eye.
You were lovely.
Thank you.
So are you. Oh, thank you. Oh no, so do you.
Tonight I want to look really glamorous, and so I'm trying out a new hairstyle.
No, Mum. Okay, no, okay.
Trust my mum to nearly give the game away. I'm actually wearing a wig. Because of the stress of surgery, my hair fell out in patches. Not a look you want for a party. I need some G&T's to calm me down.
G&T's? I don't think so.
You always have them.
So?
The party's just down the road from where I live. 150 of my friends and family are due to show. Some people here are seeing my new face for the first time.
I'm Jess! You look like the best person ever. You look really different.
She looks dead different. She looks like that. She's just got so much confidence and she can just go and do whatever she wants to do now.
A great night, but my transformation isn't complete, and as I come to terms with this face, I know that soon I'm going to have to get used to another one. My next stop is looming. Well, I'm happy now to be the centre of attention. Before, I just wanted to blend in. Looking different meant I got some extremely bad reactions from people, and the first time I fully understood this was on my way to school one day. Got on the bus as usual that day. I think it was on Valentine's Day, and these girls got on the bus from another school, and they were standing up, but like they were in sight of me, and a couple of minutes later I caught them staring at my fingers. They looked away, but then they started laughing hysterically and screaming and shouting all over the bus, her fingers, that's the only words they say, her fingers, and even though it was only 2 words, they were hateful because I knew it was aimed at me and my hands. I just remember sitting on the yard like with all my friends, and like they all knew what had happened, and they come up to me and say, you know, are you alright? And I'd just cry because I wasn't alright. It was a turning point for me to the extent of, well, you know, there are going to be people out there that are going to look at me and ridicule me because they've got nothing better to do. It just made me realise that, you know, it's not always going to be hunky-dory. Making this film is beginning to make me realise that my decision to have surgery to make myself look better is playing right into the hands of those people who used to stare at me, at school or on the bus. So why am I so set on having more? Do I really have to change my looks to please others, to get a boyfriend, to get more confidence? I want to meet the person who inspired me to change my face when I read her success story in a newspaper.
Hello, I'm Jess. Hi.
Abby Ware has a similar disfigurement to mine, called Apert Syndrome, so I wonder if her motivations for going under the knife were also the same as mine.
So it's when I am 11, and you can see my eyes are protruding, like yours probably were.
What actually made you want to have surgery? What was your motivation?
I know for me personally it wasn't because I wanted to look normal, it was because I didn't want to look disfigured.
Yeah, like looking back I always thought that I was happy with the way I looked, but my friends in school have been saying, oh, you know, you've become really more confident. I haven't noticed it. I don't know if you've noticed any change in your personality since you had the operation, but I think that's just amazing how changing your appearance can make you feel that little bit more confident.
For me it was a complete transformation, not just with my face. I think because I was going through puberty as well. I was so many different hormones and emotions, and because I blamed everything to a certain extent on me having a disfigurement, I thought once that's corrected, my life was going to be so much better. It's going to be so easy. I'm going to have boyfriends. I'm going to be really successful, and everyone's going to like me. But when I did have the surgery, I did look different. I still didn't have a boyfriend. I was really shy because I didn't know who I was. I wasn't sure how to handle myself, and what kind of person I was now. And it was only when I learned to accept my new face, then I became more confident. And I've got a boyfriend now, and I think that's purely down to the reason that I was confident in myself, not because I had a new face. It's your insecurity about your condition is the thing that's holding you back, not the condition itself.
Yeah. I'm called back to hospital to find out when my next operation will be.
Right. You want to take this one?
Because my last operation has brought my mid-face forward, the lower part of my face is now too far back. I have problems closing my mouth, so my next bit of surgery will correct this.
We're here today to talk about your jaw surgery. We need to do a relatively small adjustment of the jaws to get the jaws and the teeth lined up.
Yeah.
So what we do with the operation is we lift the back of the top jaw up like that, and that creates a gap all the way around. What then happens is we bring the lower jaw further forward so that the teeth are touching in that way. We can make a cut in the jaw to free up the bits we need to free up to move them. Okay.
Sounds like a horror movie.
It does a bit, doesn't it? Yeah, I think this is you've already had the first one. This is the sequel, isn't it? Yeah. So even though the operation's 18 months away or thereabouts, we need to talk about this.
I can't believe my ears. I thought my surgery would be this summer, and now it looks like it's postponed to next summer. It's all part of this roller coaster ride I'm on, which sometimes makes me wonder why I want more.
Any questions, Jessica? Sure. Okay.
Any
questions? No, but Wendy's asked all the questions.
You're not scared or anything, are you? It's just disappointed, yeah. I can understand. And we've been disappointed before, haven't we?
It's going to be another, like 18 months. And it's just annoying, really. I'm annoyed at myself for getting my hopes up, but I'm also just disappointed that it is going to be so long. And it's like after me A-levels as well, and I just don't know if I want to do it. I know I want to do it, I don't know. I just feel like I can't do it. I can't. I did that with my GCSEs, did my last GCSE, and then a week later I went into hospital. I don't know if I can do that again. I've decided to make the best use of the breathing space I've been given, to work out why I'm putting myself through all this.
Although you think I
I want to meet someone who for the moment is at the end of the road with hair surgery.
Hi Jess, how are you? Good to see you again.
Kelly O'Farrell has developed other techniques to overcome people's negative reactions to her face. Kelly helps out at the charity Changing Faces, which supports people with disfigurements like me. At the age of 2, she suffered severe burns after accidentally setting fire to her parents' car. How do you make yourself feel more comfortable in a situation that you might be a bit nervous about?
What I do to make myself feel more confident, for example, going a night out, I say, yeah, I look well tonight when I look in the mirror, you know. And I say, Kelly, you're going to go out and you're going to have a good night and you're going to enjoy yourself. Also make eye contact with people, Jess. Very important, because I like to be talked to with people looking into my eyes. And I do that in turn. Make people feel comfortable with you. Smile, greet them, be friendly, but be very confident and let people see that you're confident and they will respect you, Jess. You're the same as anyone else, no different, and you have the same life as any other young adult, any other student.
So what do you do to make yourself feel more confident?
I was bullied a lot in primary school. It was 8 years of hell. And I was very quiet in secondary school because I felt if I faded into the background, then I wouldn't be noticed and then I wouldn't be bullied like I was in primary school. So basically, my confidence built throughout secondary school by the teachers and by my friends. But it really exploded at a point when I started college because I could be myself, I could stand out, I could speak up for myself. No one knew me. It was a whole new chance to let people really see me, and that's what I have done.
So what tips can you give me then for going into college? Because I'm going to obviously finish school in a year or so, and I'm just worried about how I should present myself. What tips can you give me to help me?
Basically, I just went head first, done it Went into college the very first day with no makeup on. My disfigurement was seen. I walked into that class and basically met all my classmates. And I asked them their names, I got to know them, and they got to know me. And I tried to open up conversation. So I felt I got to know so many new people on my first day that the second day was easier, because when I walked into the room again, they didn't stare at me.
But being realistic, there's always going to be that group of people who are not going to accept you for what you look like and that. Did you find that in your college, and how did you deal with it?
Just take everything as it comes, and if someone makes a comment, explain to them back why I look this way and tell them that it's wrong to stare or it's wrong to make a comment, and educate the person about disfigurement. And I guarantee you the next time they see you in that same situation, they won't make that comment.
Obviously, it's every girl's, dream to, have a boyfriend, have a husband, get married and all that. How would you want it to happen?
I think it's very important just to talk to someone. Let them see into your soul and past your disfigurement, and let them see the real you. Because that's what's important, the real person. Your personality, your confidence, your intelligence, your wish, and everything about you all will shine through. But it takes courage to go out and do that, Jess, and you have it. I know from talking to you, you have it. You can do it. Just be confident and stand out and be you, and you'll be fine.
I am amazed by Kelly's strength. Inspired by her words of wisdom, I thought I might give it a go and head off for my first ever girls' night out in London.
You know what? I don't care. I don't care what they think of me. I don't care what they're doing. I'm just going to go in there and be who I want to be.
Exactly. You feel like the most confident person in the room. This is who I am, Jess. I want you to hear you say it.
This is who I am.
Very good.
But for both Kelly and I, having a disfigurement is a struggle, and it seems that we are constantly making the effort to get society to accept us. There is one place where I feel accepted. A few months after my operation, I began a Sunday job at a local restaurant. I love mucking in with the boys, Chef Mark and Assistant Chef Peter. The only funny comments I get here are about my washing up skills.
I think I just like the banter because we can take the mick out of each other. Well, most of them take the mick out of me. I've been applying for jobs for ages, but it's the same job that took me on because they knew that I was capable of doing anything, whereas I think that other employers think I'm not capable of doing things because I have got a disability.
Because of my syndrome, I need a few adjustments, but I can pretty much work around anything, even a rack that's too high.
Because it's so high, it was hard for me to reach to put the plates on it because I have got restrictions with my arms, which mean I can't raise them as high as the average person can. So we got this dish rack and just put like the plates and that there. So that's made it quicker for me to do my job and easier for me to do my job really. We're all the same, we've just got differences, and my difference is maybe a bit more, what's the word? Noticeable. Yeah, that's it, noticeable. My difference is a bit more noticeable than others, and I'm alright with that.
We all really understand what Jess has been through, and we don't treat her any different. Why should we? It's I'm just keen that she actually does a good job on the dishes. Nothing else really comes into it for me. A job's a job, and she does a good job.
You don't pay me enough in this place.
Pardon?
You don't pay me enough in this place.
I feel so.
It's actually made me more confident in this job because I know I'm capable of doing whatever anyone else can do at the end of the day and getting a good job.
This face made me into a shrinking violet, whereas this face has allowed me to blossom. It's really bugging me, but I think my better looks are improving my life. So why is that? I'm off to meet psychology professor Nicola Rumsey, who runs the Centre for Appearance Research. She gets to the bottom of appearance issues bothering our image-conscious society. Research shows that 27% of British girls aged between 15 and 17 would consider cosmetic surgery, so I'm not alone in wanting to change my looks.
I was just wondering, why do people who look different get treated badly by society?
What seems to happen is that whenever someone sees something that looks different for the first time, they're not really quite sure how to behave, and that uncertainty feels really uncomfortable. Some people talk about it being a kind of innate thing. So there are animals who, when they have babies, if the baby doesn't look right, if it has some kind of, if it's missing a limb or something like that, then the mother will ignore it and let it die. So some people talk about it being a kind of evolutionary thing. Other people have talked about the fact that we might be a bit frightened that we might catch something. So if people have a skin condition that looks particularly like it might be something contagious, then that might be an explanation. I'd be really interested to know about why you had the surgery. What were your kind of expectations? What did you want out of it?
I just think that I wanted a higher level of confidence, and I thought I could get that by being accepted more by society, by looking a bit more normal, if you like.
You know, when I write normal, when I speak normal, I always want to put it into inverted commas because it's so difficult to define. I think one of the difficulties about society at the moment is that all the emphasis on looking beautiful makes the boundaries of normal get smaller. Yeah. So the band of what's acceptable and what's normal is actually getting quite fine now, and people beginning to feel that you've got to look really quite attractive instead of just somewhere on an enormous spectrum of looks from very beautiful to very not beautiful or very different at the other end.
So if having a disfigurement is seen as a negative thing, what are the positive things that beauty brings?
It's interesting. I mean, in the past, researchers have said that beauty can be an advantage if your car breaks down and you need some help. Beautiful people will get a quicker response. Some people have said that you get better jobs if you're beautiful, and some people have said that you might have better relationships and meet people more easily. But you also need so much more. So looks are great for about the first 10 seconds of an encounter, but after that you've got to back it up with all the other stuff that make you fun to be with. So it's certainly not true that beauty is everything.
Well, Nicola may not think beauty brings you your heart's desire, but today I'm meeting someone who certainly thinks it helps.
Hello, Jess. Nice to meet you, Jess. I'm Cindy.
Cindy Jackson decided to completely transform her face with extensive cosmetic surgery in the pursuit of ideal beauty. But why would someone who wasn't even a fraction as imperfect as me undergo 9 operations? Just wondering if you could tell me what you've actually had done. But don't answer it if you don't want to. I know I'm taking
everything
a chance.
done. I had everything done. My nose twice. I've had 4 facelifts. Cheek implants, lip augmentation. I've had a chemical peel on my face. I've got my eyebrows, eyeliner, and lipstick tattooed on.
Wow.
Yeah. Everything you see on my face is surgically altered, and from my waist to my knees. So far. Why, do you think there's something else I need doing?
No.
Okay, well, you would let me know.
Yeah. So do you think that trying to enhance your beauty makes you feel happier inside? Is that what it's like for you, or is it a different emotion?
For me, beauty was always a power issue. I found the more beauty you have, the more power you have. Power in your career, in life, in every day. I just remember when I was in high school in particular, I would see the pretty girls. There's always there's a handful of them in each class, in each year. And I used to watch them, and they had a totally different life from me, and I wanted to be one of them. And I had this mad plan. I wonder what it would be like to, instead of being the awkward farm girl with the big nose and the, by this time, not very nice figure, what would it be like to change myself into the most perfect person that I could make with the raw material? And I always used established rules of beauty and proportion because I didn't want to set any precedents. I certainly wanted to have a face and a body that would be found universally acceptable and hopefully attractive.
So after all these operations that you've had to make yourself feel more beautiful, do you feel beautiful now?
I feel exactly the same person inside because I am the same person inside. What I do get is feedback from friends, from family, from walking down the street. And that's the difference. People are nicer to me. People pay me compliments. I don't think, oh, I look great. I think they're agreeing with what I created visually, which is a compliment on a higher level to me, because beauty is a gift of nature that really beautiful women that I've met take for granted. They don't know anything else. I do know something else. And that means a lot more than just an accident of birth.
I think that's the problem though, isn't it? Because when you meet someone for the first time, that's the first thing. You like judge them on their looks because you're looking at them. You don't know the personality, you're just seeing what they look like. And I think sometimes people can get the wrong impression, if you like.
People judge you by the way you look. That's what people do. I do it, you do it. When you see a certain look on a person, you treat them a certain way. So why not try and get the best feedback you can, the best reaction from people, and that will give you a better life. Unfortunately, this is the world we live in.
There's some truth in what Cindy said, but I would never go to the same length she went to improve my looks. I've had my operation to make myself look less different and feel more confident.
She's more confident. She likes looking at herself in the mirror now, which she would never do before. She loves putting makeup on and getting her hair done and things like that, whereas before she had a little tiny mirror. Now she's got a nice big mirror.
She was rather nerdy, and she was just really motivated in her work. That was the most importance to her coming to school. But she's more confident in herself. Like, she started to wear makeup and, do her hair more and things like that. So when she comes to school now, it's not just, she doesn't just always get her head down all the time and work. She'll sit and have a laugh with us as well.
After the operation, I noticed that Jess, her personality had just changed completely, because it's made her so much more confident now. She can go out with her friends and she doesn't feel like she has to sit in the background.
They're right. Before surgery, I wasn't very interested in making the best out of my appearance. With my new face, that's all changed. Before, I wouldn't have thought about coming to a store like Selfridges, but now I'm ready to take the place by storm. Feeling really excited, feeling like a child in a toy store, and like, whoa, I just want to see everything. It's amazing. Didn't know you could get so many different brands of makeup, really. Wow, it's pink. That's really nice. Bronzer.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hi, were you looking for anything particular?
Just browsing really, yeah.
Have you got time for a makeover?
Oh yeah, that'll be great. I haven't had one before here, so no.
Not a problem, I'll take you over.
Wow, a freebie no girl could resist. Bring it on. What would you class as beauty then?
For me, everybody has their special something.
Yeah.
Whether it be their eyes, whether it be their cheeks, whether it be their skin, whether it be their lips. And it's all about enhancing that beauty, but you don't want to mask it.
Yeah. And then I get to meet the runner-up of America's Next Top Model.
Your makeup looks amazing.
Thank you. Him. I've always had thin lips and it's been really annoying.
You haven't had to, because look, you've got a full bottom lip, but your top lip,
it's just really thin.
So just to add a little more enhancement to the top lip, it just balances it out a little bit more. We can go a little bit more. The secret is not to go too high.
And then Jamie blesses me with eyebrows, which I'd lost from the stress of surgery. I haven't plucked it or anything, but the thing was, I had an operation in the summer, and I had a mild form of alopecia, and a lot of my hair fell out, and I only realised, but that must have fallen out as well. Yeah. What do you think? Pretty gorgeous or what? Just like supermodels, I've been looked at all my life because people think I'm different. People have made their minds up about me before I've even opened my mouth. And thinking about it, I'm sure it must be the same for the beautiful people too. Today I'm meeting Lucy Clarkson, who has been a fashion model since the age of 14.
I bought some new shoes and they're so uncomfortable.
Oh,
I can't walk
lovely
with them, so I'm walking a bit funny.
Lucy has modelled for many top designers and was the body double of Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider game. Is there actually a downside to being beautiful?
Straight away when you're a model, people think you're thick. I've been told I'm thick constantly, all the time. I was the only one that probably wouldn't get chatted up out of all my friends because I look the most unapproachable person. And then whenever I've said, you know, why didn't you ask me out? And the guys have said, well, you look like you love yourself. I've been pinned up in bars, bar toilets by girls. And one of the worst things is I was on the train and this guy came up to me. He said, oh, you're beautiful. He said, can I take you out on a date? So I said, I'm sorry, I've got a boyfriend. And he stood up to the whole carriage and he went, look at her. She thinks she's, you know, swore. She thinks she's so gorgeous and blah, blah, blah. And I got up to get off and he pushed me on the floor. And it scares me sometimes, and I get scared about walking around and looking the way I do, because it's quite scary.
So do you think that if there was a chance that you could be less beautiful, you'd want to be?
It's like being put on a pedestal and you feel almost like you stand out and you are different to other people, because you must feel like that because people stare at you all the time. I just feel that it's made me very unhappy because I'm constantly under pressure. And you wouldn't, by looking at me and the way I dress and the way I speak, you wouldn't think, but I've got not a lot of confidence at all. I'm constantly paranoid about getting older. I'm always looking at my face, see I've got wrinkles. So saying, would I rather be less beautiful? Probably not, because I'd be frightened to be less beautiful now, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's really weird, but I've become obsessed with the way I look because people have made me like that.
You know, you can't win. You're bullied for not being pretty, you're bullied for being too pretty, you know.
Yeah.
Society has that much control over you, and I think that's what's shocking me, the fact that in some ways we're letting ourselves be controlled by society, we're giving in to the pressures of society, really. So as I get to grips with why I'm having more surgery, the long wait to find out about my next operation is over. Alderhay Hospital called me back in with some news. Today I might get the go-ahead for the next step, to get my face in proportion by bringing my lower jaw forward. AXO.
It's back to the world I've known only too well for the last 17 years.
If you look straight up.
Being prodded by lots of doctors.
It's really weird when I look down here because I've got cheekbones and I'm looking down now and I can just see these things there. It's just, yeah, it's really weird, yeah.
Jessica's eyes used to turn in a lot more, but lately she's just stayed really stable and fantastic, haven't you, Hay?
So I'm just going to look at the back of Jessica's eyes to look at her optic disc. In the past, people have commented that her optic discs look a little bit abnormal, but actually, as far as I'm concerned, they look very good and healthy, and I'm quite happy with them. There's nothing to show you've got any pressure there.
Put the horrible glasses on.
You're not filming this.
Well, do you want the pink ones on?
No, I don't want the pink ones on.
Your short-sightedness is more or less gone. So you could technically drive without glasses on, that kind of thing, because your vision's good enough.
I'm scared of unleashing it on the road. What you might do.
Charming.
I know.
The eye specialists seem happy with progress, so it's now up to the orthodontist to see if my teeth are where they should be.
The top wire is continuing to straighten out your teeth. It's also doing a little bit of widening out to your top teeth because we're aiming to have your teeth fitting as close to perfectly as we can.
Dr. Russell is happy that my teeth are in position for surgery. But the final approval is Dr. Richardson's, who calls me up to his office to let me know his decision.
I've had a chat with Joyce Russell and we've had a look at your models of your teeth. And so we're all okay to go ahead. I think 30th of June, okay. I mean, the bite of the teeth isn't going to be ideal, but we know that anyway because you know the various teeth missing and they don't fit as well as sometimes they do, but that won't matter and you won't really notice that, Jess. And so, yeah, we can plan for that and...
It's scary now.
I think it was just a bit of a shock. Like, when he told me, it was a bit of a shock because the fact that he was able to do it this year, I was just like, well, hold on a minute, this is actually happening. I think it was a step back into reality. It'll complete my face in some ways. I mean, I haven't got an idea in my head about what I want to look like, you know, because you can never predict what you're going to look like with surgery. But when after the operation, I'll know if I'm happy with it or if I want more surgery.
So as I prepare for my next bit of surgery, will this be the end, or will I be tempted to have more? I'm interested in meeting someone who is not conventionally beautiful, but who's never changed the way she looks, and never will. Albino model Connie Chu has carved out a successful career in the cutthroat world of fashion despite her alternative looks. Connie was discovered by the designer Jean-Paul Gaultier when she sent her pictures in to him.
It's beauty in a more unconventional way.
Yeah. We meet at the London College of Fashion, which has laid on an exhibition showcasing 22 faces which represent beauty in its diversity. They're all unique as well, they're all different in their own way as well, and that's what I like.
I don't think different is a bad word. You know, it's different is variety. You know, that's what life is about, that's what the world is about, I think. There was a time when I sort of did think about how I look like. I think it's, especially when I was a teenager, and it was really restrictive. But I think after a while, I started to think about it. You know, however I change myself, there are people I won't be able to please. And why would I like to please them?
Yeah.
But of course, you always get the odd comment. It's quite funny. People just shout out like, albino. And I was like, great news, I didn't know that. You know. I guess this one wouldn't end up in Vogue, but you know.
He's got lovely eyes, all of his eyes.
Yes.
When I look in all these magazines of the models who do advertising, like, there always seems to be a specific look, and like, I was just wondering how you were able to use your different look to your benefit, really, of becoming a model.
People do crave something different now and then, and I think the fashion business, they recognises that. So that's probably how I fit in. I'm like Marmite, you either like me or you don't.
It's amazing, this exhibition. I mean, I know this boy, he's a good friend of mine, and I don't look at his facial features, I look at the humorous, the kind, the loving boy inside.
It's sort of a really hard question to answer, I guess, but imagine if you didn't have that surgery I had last year, do you think, and you look at yourself in the mirror, that you wouldn't see that syndrome that you have, just see you?
For me, it wasn't about what I looked like, it was about other people's reactions to me. Like, I've always said, you know, I didn't have the operation for anyone but myself. But in other ways, I'm thinking, well, it's the people who outside in society who lowered my confidence. So it's that I did it for them in a way, which is terrible, really.
It's all about why you're doing it, I think. The way it sounds to me. If you're purely doing it for other people, it will be a quite difficult journey. I think you have to really sort of think about it if you want to go on with the surgery, because it's not like buying a new frock, exactly. You know, you're going to be stuck with it. Do it for yourself and do it for your own life. You know, don't do it for the odd flippant comment or, you know, even though they can be really hurtful, I think, you know, you can't do it for them because then they win.
I take Connie's point, but I'm having surgery because I have a disfigurement, whereas Connie just looks unconventional. So before my face changes again, I want a memento of how I look now.
Oh, Jess, how's it going?
Larry Dunstan, the exhibition photographer, had brought out the beauty in each of its subjects, and he's agreed to photograph me.
What I want to do with you is just some really beautiful, simple portraits, getting the essence of what you're about.
I could say I've got a bit of a humorous vibe, because that's what I do when I first meet people, to kind of get over my nerves. It's kind of nerves mixed with humour. It's like,
So then let's try and bring that out in the photos. Maybe not smiley, but try and even through your eyes just bring out that do you know what I mean, that vibe about you. Just sit, relax, and just look to the lens. Try and bring out all of that in your eyes and all your thought, and just show that real determination, that real strength, man.
Changing my face has changed me. My confidence keeps growing, and I hope after my next operation it'll grow even more.
Think about all the things that you've gone through and all what you're doing, and just do a little like timeline just in your face. Lovely with the eyes as well. That's it, whatever you want to do, yeah? Imagine someone's...
You're not getting me to pout again.
I'm not.
Oh my god! Delete that!
Hold it, 1 sec. Do you like that? See how the difference?
Yeah, it's quite sultry, that one.
Yeah. And I love that as well.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's lovely actually.
You know, I used to be this shy person that didn't like to be noticed as much as the next person. But looking this way has put me on a different path.
I won't know until after my next operation whether I'll be happy with my face.
She has actually got a bit of a bump in her nose anyway now from the last lot of surgery. So they're talking about maybe doing some reconstructive surgery to her nose. And also she's got a very flat forehead, so they're talking about putting implants into her forehead so she gets a more rounded forehead, and that'll sort of in turn give her more of a brow.
But I do know I won't go on and on forever.
Just because she's got a new face, it hasn't taken my old Jess away. What it has given us, it's given us this confident Jess. But my old Jessica's still in there.
I've had my surgery to look more normal, whatever normal is. But even after my next operation, I'll still look different. And that's because we all look different. Oh, and I'm still waiting for my dream man. Kind, sensitive.
Someone like me.
Dream on, Dad. I'd rather have Kane from Westlife.
I wanna call the stars down from the sky. I wanna live a day that never dies. I wanna change the world only for you. All the impossible I wanna do.